Super proud of our guys. Last two games, how we've come out with a competitive edge. Against two teams currently in the playoffs. We've been talking about how this last week, dating back to the Clippers game, the Jazz game, Timberwolves tonight. 3-4, second half of back-to-back. There's no excuses. We could have kind of just come out super flat. I know our offense wasn't, where it could have been, missing some shots, layups, threes, but we competed. I thought our guys scrapped, competed. Credit to the Pacers. I mean, they had another great shooting night, regardless of what coverage we were in. They've got a lot of talented players. But I felt like the effort from our guys was where it needs to be, and that's something, as we about to hit the road for 10 days, when you have that same urgency, from the start of the game, and keep, just getting better.
Taylor, congrats on your first technical foul. With Jaren, is it sometimes frustrating due to the nature of the fouls and not necessarily the fouls themselves? Just it seems like he gets the oddball calls every now and then.
Yeah, it's a product of that. I mean, I've gone back and been honest when looking at the tape, saying you could be a little bit more urgent, more aware. Technique can be a little bit better. And sometimes it's just wrong place at the wrong time. That's for sure. But overall, his aggressiveness tonight, I thought defensively I challenged him early. I didn't think he was as aggressive as he needed to be. He really picked it up. 2 block shots. And then he had just an aggressive mentality offensively, not just from the three-point line, getting to the foul line 9 times. That might be a season high for him. So really proud of, the steps that he took. And he's, got so much, to give and so much more. And, the dialogues we keep having about making defense a priority. I thought, activity was good, but his communication was unbelievable, like the best I've seen all season. And I think that really helped our group, with the different coverages we had going out there.
Taylor, this will be the first extended road trip of the season coming up. What do you expect, or what do you hope to see from this team from a bonding standpoint, and what they can do to sort of grow through these experiences?
Yeah, what I love is, the guys themselves, as soon as we broke the huddle just a moment ago in the locker room, they said, stay together. We're about to hit the road mentality. Something about going on the road, it's just kind of, the world against you. You're going into, tough environments. Great opportunity for us to go out. I think we've actually played pretty well on the road for certain games, got a couple of wins, which has been great. We just got to keep, finding a way to establish our identity, whether it's at home or on the road. And we just got to do it together. It's the, 15 guys, staff, whomever's on that plane that we fly, to Chicago tomorrow. That group of people just keep putting in the work every single day. Keep helping each other get better. But what we've done this last week, although we're, 1-3 in the last 4 games, our competitive spirit or competitive edge has been pretty much in the right place. And especially these last 2 games, it's a lot to build on. Now you got to test it when you go on the road where, cards may be stacked against you, adversity and, home crowds and all that stuff. But I think our guys have actually embraced those moments, and I think we'll, gain a lot in the next 10 days.
You closed the game with Tyus Jones and DeAnthony Melton. Did you want to just see Melton at the 2, or what was the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, I think, DeAnthony's been playing great. Dylan got his 5th foul. A lot of confidence to put DeAnthony out there. I thought it actually may have helped us with a couple of our matchups out there. But, it's a credit to what he's done last 2 games, everything building up to it, his defensive presence. So, it was not much of a question to put him back in the game and have those 2 guards out there and try to get another ball handler. And, as we've talked all season long, it's another thing, another combination that we'll try to study and get to, obviously, with this opportunity that we have, the rest of this week to get those guys playing a little bit more together.
He had his season high in points. DeAnthony did with 16, but 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and maybe a couple little rough moments early in the game. But to come back and kind of stuff the stat sheet in some of those other categories, how much did you like that?
Loved it. I mean, obviously, he kind of combo guard. He's going to be the lead guard. He's going to be off the ball. This is his first exposure, at least this season, of going up against teams that may be back in coverages, up in coverages. So he's having to read defenses pretty quick in 2 games. But like you said, his 9 rebounds, a couple of steals. He gets deflections that may not show up in the box score. He's playing a simple style of basketball, defensively aggressive, and then offensively he's not trying to do too much. He's taking kind of what the defense is giving him, facilitating, scoring, confidence to shoot the 3, ability to get downhill. So as we've talked all along, when that chance came, he's been prepared. A player that we see a bright future with, and if he keeps having that simple mentality, defense and offense, keeps his game plan pretty simple for himself, I think he could have a really bright future.
Coach, do you think with a lot of players down tonight, Solomon Hill stepped up in that way as like that calming veteran presence on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things that Solo does for our group is, positive spirit, and that he's constantly communicating on the floor, in the timeouts. Obviously, he backs it up with his play, playing super hard, trying to be aggressive, also play unselfish at the same time. But he does a lot with his voice. We changed coverages a couple times tonight. He's the first one talking as we leave the huddle about what we're in, getting the young guys together, and then he's on the floor and he's backing up with his talk. So that calming presence, that cohesive presence to keep everyone together and rallying, keeping our heads up in a tough game. He was huge for us tonight.
Coach, you guys struggle some from three. How much of that is just shots not falling for you tonight?
Yeah, I thought we pressed a little bit at times. I didn't think we really played at our pace for the majority of the game, especially in the first half. We only had 2 fast break points. I felt like we got downhill. We just missed some bunnies. And then, we really didn't get to the multiple actions we wanted, so we kind of felt pressed against the clock a couple times to shoot some threes. And then we were open a couple of times, or a number of times, and we just missed threes. And, that's going to happen some nights. So I thought the guys' spirits throughout the game, knowing that shots weren't falling for us defensively, they kept competing against a team that was making a lot of shots, tough shots, fadeaways, contested shots. We're scrambling around, giving our all. Someone gets open, they hit a three. We didn't put our heads down. We kept trying to come back and just fight through it. We couldn't overcome it, a good opponent tonight. So now we got to keep just, that same identity, that same plan going on the road.
10-day trip coming up, obviously one of the longest of the season. Light question for you. Do you have like a must-have item or anything you have to take on trips like that?
I take my pillows. I've started doing that this year. I travel with my 2 pillows I sleep with at home. You never know with a hotel bed, so I try to get as good a night's sleep as possible, trusting my own pillows.
All right, thank you.
Great. Thanks, everyone.